Skawo. Oh yeah, Mario time. Ha! This way. Ha! Yeah. Skawo. Oh yeah! Ha!
What? What?
Skawo. time. Huh. Let's go. Let's go. Mario number one! Huh? Oh, yeah!
What?